Yo, what's going on, everybody? You've seen the thumbnail, you've read the title. Today we're going to be talking about Season 2. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So, with that being said, let's get into today's video, guys. Alright, so I think we'll just start off with the good stuff here. Alright, so Cartel. They made some cover adjustments, including reducing the heights of the bushes in certain locations to increase predictability of engagements. On Crossroads Strike, they improved character visibility, which was a big problem. They removed some cover to avoid unintentional sight lines, and they moved the P4 hardpoint over to the crates on the frozen lake. Satellite. If you've ever played Satellite, you would know of those really tiny weird gaps in like the satellite pieces that were really annoying. They got rid of those so that, you know, they can't be abused anymore, quote unquote. Moscow, they trimmed the unused spaces near the starting spawns. I guess that's mainly for dropkick, I would assume, or prop hunt. Raid, the P1 hardpoint zone radius reduced to match the control zone radius. And they did fix the common express issue of spawning into an active train. It looks as if they are trying to combat the counter spy plane spam, but not the spy plane spam, because they increased the cost of counter spy plane from 1,200 to 1,400, and the cooldown has been increased from 60 seconds to 90 seconds. But apparently UAV spam is completely fine. In fact, they buffed the UAV by fixing a glitch with it, which was also a problem with the harp, so they also fixed the harp. So the harp is actually usable. But here's the problem, we're starting to get into the bad stuff. None of that matters, because guess what? They fixed the harp so it's more usable, but guess what they decided to do with that? Buff air patrol for some reason. They were like, you know what? Let's take the cost from 2,700 down to 2,400. Let's buff possibly the most broken and strong streak in the game by just making it easier to obtain. I can't understand why. They also reduced the cost of the VTOL escort and the attack helicopter, so I mean that's nice, but they also reduced the cost of air patrol, so it doesn't really matter in this case. You know, air patrol was already broken, air patrol was already frustrating to go against. That's why honestly nobody really runs any good streaks that stay up in the air anymore other than UAV and counter UAV anymore. But that's not the only bad thing they did. They decided to buff smoke grenades and make them pretty much like, honestly, just permanent flashbangs. They're impossible to see through now, so that was apparently a good idea. And in their words, player vision is now degraded when inside a smoke grenade cloud. Why did you need to make the smoke grenades basically stun grenades or flashbangs that just sit in one area and completely hinder you entirely? I don't know why. It's completely stupid, but they decided to do that. And then I guess we should just get into the ugly, because oh god, this update is terrible. They broke a bunch of things, so that's cool. Custom games doesn't really work anymore, apparently. Sometimes players are being told that they need to buy Cold War yet again for whatever reason. A bunch of crashing issues are starting to happen. Screen tearing and frame drops are happening on consoles, and it's apparently abysmal on PS4, even though I have yet to experience it. You know, fingers crossed, knock on wood. And yeah, well, what did you honestly expect? The bar was set incredibly low, and they still managed to get below it. Like, instead of fixing the content that already exists in the game, they decided to say, hey, let's just break 100 more things over. The machete challenge doesn't even actually count properly. Somebody had 15 out of 15, restarted their game, went back to 1 out of 15. Apparently math is not their strong suit at Treyarch. What a surprise. Then we move on to the next thing, the new map. The new map, honestly, I'm sorry if you're going to disagree with this, I hate this map. This map is completely terrible. It is just owned by shotguns over and over again. There's so many tight little corridors. There's like 60,000 ways into every single building, which isn't inherently bad, but because the map is so tiny and it's pretty much the size of Nuketown almost, literally shotguns dominate it because everything is so choke pointy and so tight and crunched up. I don't like it at all. But above all else, above all the crashing, above all the just millions of problems that they have added to the game, they didn't make a single weapon adjustment that I know of. There's not a single one in these patch notes. Why? Why is it so hard to change numbers in code? The 7.4U did not receive a nerf. The AK-47 did not receive a nerf. The MP5 did not receive a nerf. Because apparently Treyarch is too lazy to click backspace and change a number. That's all you have to do. I'm sure it might be a little bit more complicated with that, with, you know, recoil, but you can just reduce the fire rate on a weapon, and that reduces its time to kill. Mind blown. I could make an entire video on this. Like, more than less, I'm just disappointed that they didn't really do anything with this update. They didn't add a good amount of content, and even the content that they did add, I don't like. So, I mean, I guess that's it for the video. There is some good changes in here on the bright side. The maps that are already existing are going to be slightly better to play. So, you know, that helps. And there's the example of my gun doing the cha-cha slide when I aim at somebody. So, I don't have much else to go on. Yeah, I'll see you guys all later. Peace out and have a great rest of the day, everybody. Bye-bye.